Hello BookTube, how are you? My name's Nadine, welcome to my channel. I was going to do my wrap up today from October, but that involves a degree of thinking that I don't feel capable of this morning. So instead, I'm going to do my book haul. This will be the final book haul for a good while, I reckon. Due to the fact I'm doing that 100 book challenge, so it's going to take me a while to get through 100 books before I can buy any new ones. So any new books that I get from now will be, from the free library or gifts. So yeah, unlikely to be a book haul for a while. I think for the most part, all of these books were secondhand, either from the free library or there's a couple that I bought, I ordered like from eBay. Yeah, so the only one that I bought new was this one, John McGregor, Lean Full Stand. I really enjoyed Reservoir 13. I've been meaning to read his other work, but just never seemed to get around to picking any up. And then I saw this one. This is his latest. So I will read you what it says on the inside flap. When an Antarctic research expedition goes wrong, the consequences are far-reaching for the men involved and for their families back home. Robert Doc Wright, a veteran of Antarctic fieldwork, holds the clues to what happened, but he is no longer able to communicate them, while Anna, his wife, navigates the sharp contours of her new life as a carer. Robert is forced to learn a whole other way of being in the world. So yeah, I thought that sounds really interesting. I kind of like books that explore, human spirit and human resilience. So yeah, that sounds fun. Or maybe not fun, but good. And then the next one I've got to show you is Barbara Erskine, Lady of Hay. I own a few Barbara Erskine novels now, but I've yet to read any of them. So this one says, a story spanning centuries, a revenge long demanded. In London, journalist Jo Clifford is planning to debunk the belief in past lives in a hard-hitting magazine piece. But her skepticism is shaken when she undergoes hypnosis and finds herself reliving the experiences of Matilda, Lady of Hay, a noblewoman during the reign of King John. As she learns of Matilda's unhappy marriage, her love for the handsome Richard de Clare, and the brutal threats of death at the hands of King John, it becomes clear that Jo's past and present are hopelessly entwined, and that, 800 years on, a story of secret passion and unspeakable treachery is about to begin again. That sounds really interesting. It is a long one though. But yeah, sounds good. Next, I've found an Agatha Raisin that I don't already have. So Agatha Raisin and the Perfect Paragon. Is she too good to be true? Usually. After being nearly killed by both a hired hitman and her former secretary, Agatha Raisin could use some low-key cases. So when Robert Smedley walks through the door of her detective agency, determined to prove that his wife is cheating on him, Raisin Investigations immediately offers to help. Unfortunately for Agatha, Mabel Smedley appears to be the perfect wife, young, pretty, and a regular volunteer at church. But just as Agatha is ready to give up, Smedley is poisoned with weed killer, leaving Mabel the prime suspect to inherit a fortune. With no one left to pay her, Agatha has to drop the investigation. That is, until her old friend Sir Charles Fraith turns up again to rekindle her curiosity in the case. I love these Agatha Raisin books. They're just so easy to read. Yeah, and the TV series is quite fun as well, if you haven't seen that. Next, I have Trucker Ghost Stories, edited by Annie Wilder. These are just like really short little stories that have been collected from truckers, ghost stories from the road. I saw this in my little free library, and my husband is a truck driver, and I picked it up because I thought it would be quite fun, especially because he works nights as well. So, it's always fun to have stuff to freak your husband out with, I find. And then I picked up David Gemmell, Troy, Lord of the Silver Bow, which is the first in an epic trilogy. 3 lives will change the destiny of nations. Halikaon, the young prince of Dardania, haunted by a scarred and traumatic childhood, the priestess Andromache, whose fiery spirit and fierce independence threatens the might of kings, and the legendary warrior Argorius, cloaked in loneliness and driven only by thoughts of revenge. In Troy, they find a city torn apart by destructive rivalries, a maelstrom of jealousy, deceit, and murderous treachery, and beyond its fabled walls, blood-hungry enemies eye its riches and plot its downfall. It is a time of bravery and betrayal, a time of bloodshed and fear, a time for heroes. And then super excited to find this one in a charity shop because it is not often that I come across these anymore, and that is Star Trek Next Generation, Ancient Blood. Book 1 of 4 of Day of Honor. To true Klingon warriors, no occasion is more sacred than Day of Honor, when they pay homage to all that makes them Klingon, but honor demands its price. Worf finds his honor tested when he goes undercover to infiltrate a planetary criminal network. How can he root out the corruption on Syndicash without resorting to deceit and treachery himself? Worf's dilemma is shared by his son, Alexander, who searches for the true meaning of honor in his own human heritage. Along with his son, Worf must confront deadly danger and the inner struggles of his Klingon soul. I find the Star Trek books are actually really, really good, really well written books. Again, like easy reads, very enjoyable. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then I ordered this one, and that is Wereblood by Eric Iverson. I picked up the second one of these before, and I showed that in a previous haul, so I had to order this one so that I can read the second one. So it says, to sell a sorcerer. In the northern reaches of the Empire of Elebon, Garen, called the Fox, battled to save his domain from destruction by the warlike Trokmoi and their wizard leader Balamong. Assisted by the giant Van of the Strong Arm, Garen prepared to make the hazardous journey to the city of Elebon, there to enlist the aid of a sorcerer more powerful than the Trokmoi mage. Pursued by demons, beset by bloodthirsty nobles, and encumbered by the presence of the beautiful Elise, whom Garen had sworn to protect, the comrades encountered greater dangers than either had ever known. So, yeah, that looks like a fun short read. And finally, I have by Balzac Eugenie Grandet. I think that's how you say that. I'm sorry if it's wrong. So, this one says, the theme of Balzac's Comédie Humaine is primarily that of the struggle to amass money and achieve power. This is seldom more evident than in Eugenie Grandet, one of the earliest and finest of the novels in his great work. The love of money and passionate pursuit of it are seen as a driving force in post-revolutionary France. Oh gosh, can't get my words out properly now. And are studied in detail in the character of Grandet. In a house in provincial Saumur lives the miser Grandet with his wife and his daughter Eugenie, who both suffer under the stifling shadow of his obsession with gold. But the arrival of her cousin Charles causes Eugenie's own desires to burn. The inevitable collision with her father and the tragedy which follows is described by Balzac with irony and characteristic psychological insight. So yeah, that is Eugenie Grandet. And that is the last one. So as I said, last one for a while. If you've read any of these, let me know down below which ones you would go for first. But yeah, that is everything today. So I will see you again very, very soon. Bye!